Formosa. Welcome back to another episode of these crazy people that just keep eating meat and can't stop talking about it. It's me, Tom, and Justin. We're here. We're here making a video because we're cool cats.
Really cool.
So we invite everybody to comment, like, subscribe, pass links of the video on. Make sure you get the alerts when videos come out. Today we're doing another one of our short ribs. We do short versions and we do long versions, as well as live streams. In fact, we're going to be recording a live stream about half an hour because it's Sunday afternoon. Every Sunday afternoon of 5:30 or 5 o'clock PST, we do a live stream. So anyways, what are we talking about today, Justin?
Yes, thanks for joining us. Please make sure you are subscribed or subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell just so that you're notified whenever one of our videos drops. And please slap a chicken bone, thigh bone, pork chop, whatever your preference, on that like button. It really helps us out and helps the channel, lets YouTube know that, hey, people like to watch these two meatheads. So there you go. But today's topic is thermogenesis.
Yeah, thermogenesis. So that could mean hot or cold, right?
Right. Well, thermo means temperature, right?
Yep. So exposing yourself to cold or heat, getting in the sauna, wearing ice packs, or I should see if I can find a picture of me in the cryo tube. So I did a video a while back, and I went to a cryo place where I think the air gets down to minus 240 degrees Fahrenheit. So I've done that. It's nice. The topic of hormesis comes up all the time, right? So hormetic stress. What do you know about hormetic stresses?
Yeah, hormetic stress is like an inflammatory response in the body when it's exposed to could be environmental, but typically it's used in reference to plants. So the final defense, I would say, of plant munchers, of omnivores, of plant enthusiasts that you got to eat your plants is the hormesis card or the hermetics card that, well, if you eat such and such plant, it stimulates hormesis in the body, which is, think of it as positive inflammation. Inflammation is just the body reacting basically to a stimulus. And so, hey, that's why it causes a hermetic effect. The only problem with that is that there are other ways to get a similar effect or hermetics in the body without ingesting plant toxins, fiber, what have you with it. And there are many different ways, exposure to heat, exposure to cold. So I'm wearing a cold shoulder pack here that I just took out of the freezer. Tom's is probably much more colder and much more cooler than mine, but mine's pretty nice. I throw this on in the summertime. It's really great after work. I do have some inflammation in my left shoulder because of my work. I have poor posture and I'm on the computer a lot. So sometimes my left shoulder will be aching me. So I throw this on after work while it's hot, and it really helps out a lot. Plus cools me down in these sweltering center of the country, humid summer, spring days. But yeah, exposure to heat, exposure to cold, fasting, exercising, can all cause a hermetic effect. Now, you can cause thermogenesis or eating carnivore or eating a lot of meat, particularly a lot of protein, can not by like a bunch of degrees, but raise your temperature and cause thermogenesis as well. This is also known as when people, especially starting out, doesn't seem to happen too much for seasoned carnivores, but the meat sweats, right? So as your body lack of a better term, burns through the meat, processes it, the amino acids, it inflames your body And, you know,
Is that what happens?
is that what happens? If I'm wrong or I'm explaining it poorly,
Well, I think
go
what
ahead.
happens is when you're running short of fuels like fats and carbohydrates, and your body starts converting protein into fuel,
Right.
that process generates heat. And there's like 30% of that protein is wasted in the conversion, and it's given off as heat. So that's meat sweats. And I've had that when like I eat like 2 lean steaks and go to the gym. I've had the meat sweats. I go in there like, whoo, it's hot in here today, and I'm working out, and then I look at the thermostat and it's 70 and it feels like it's 85, you know. So yeah. But yeah, it's pretty rare. I mean, if you eat a really high protein diet, you can do it, you know. You sit down and chow down the old 64 ouncer. Yeah. With John Candy. Yeah.
And you're actually
8 hours.
getting that every time or all the time. It's actually how your body stays warm. It's part of the
Yeah. So let's talk about staying warm real quick, because there's this whole talk about white fat and brown fat. So brown fat has mitochondria in it that generate heat. Babies have a higher percentage. Of course, they're not very big, but they have a higher percentage of that, so that it keeps them warm, so they don't freeze to death easily. so they make their own heat very easily. And of course, as you grow up, become an adult, the percentage of that particular type of fat that generates heat is less. But cold stress can help turn more of the white fat into brown fat, I think, as they say, where you wind up with more mitochondria in the white fat to generate heat. So from a weight loss standpoint, the cold stress can help you lose body fat. That's what you're going for. And I've done it by we had a cold winter shortly after I started low carb. And my dogs love to walk in the rain, so I got that was some of the most drastic weight loss I ever experienced. Get lean pretty quick, shivering in the cold rain. So I don't get cold easy. Anybody who's ever had to live with me for very long will tell you never get cold. How is that? So I had a cattle tub in my backyard. I used to put like 60 to 80 pounds of ice in there. And I get in there, and like I'd be in there and like my feet would be numb because it was that cold, and I still would never shiver. Right. It was hard. It was hard to actually shiver. And when you're shivering, you're getting to that point where your body has to warm itself up by burning through fat stores. So, but let me circle back to hormesis. Let me just give another sort of slightly different explanation for people out there wondering what the hell it is. So one of the classic examples was, I'm trying to remember her first name, but Dr. Patrick. She comes on Joe Rogan pretty frequently. But anyways, she was making the argument of eating broccoli because broccoli actually has a toxin in it. I think it's a group known as sulforaphanes, and the sulforaphanes are toxic to the body, so the body responds in a way that could be damaging to cancer. So it was sort of and not that she said concretely that this will cure cancer or anything like that, but the study she was looking at was suggesting that by eating broccoli and consuming toxic broccoli, you could elicit a reaction in the body that could fight cancer, right? And that would be a hormetic effect. So we could talk about hormesis in terms of eating foods like plants with toxic material in them that might elicit a reaction from the body that has another positive effect to it. Or we could talk about cold and heat shock proteins, which probably is more of what human beings were exposed to, right? We were kind of at odds with the weather all the time, right?
Well, I mean, 3 million years ago, we didn't have 4-story penthouse suites in the middle of Missouri.
No, we
for
didn't, did
us.
we? It was huddle in a cave. Maybe you made your house out of mammoth bones and covered it in nice thick mammoth fur. Had to make yourself your own boots. So you could walk around when it was cold, had to make shade when it was sunny and hot. Yeah. So that hot and cold exposure has a hormetic effect, which is probably a little more in line with our physiology than eating broccoli, because broccoli is like a man-made, made-up food, not a real food, not a food we evolved to eat. So that's why I kind of tend to discount that kind of research. Not that I would tell somebody who already had cancer that they shouldn't try eating broccoli, because who knows, maybe it'll work. But for general day-to-day sort of hormesis, the hot and the cold of it is probably where it's at, right?
Yeah, definitely. And, fasting, exercising, there's many different ways. There's just stimulating a different process in the body, basically putting your body to work, but not overly working it, if that makes sense. When it comes to, doing a cold plunge, you need to work up to what Tom was doing. You probably shouldn't go out with a big tub with 60 to 80. Not that you would die, but mentally, right? I would imagine you had to mentally get yourself up to it at some point, or
Well, there's people that are afraid of everything, and there's people that are so curious they just have to do it. So, I think that was kind of
well, if someone needs an amputation because they did a cold plunge, they're gonna have to email you and not email me.
That's the only hate mail you can send me. All the other hate mail goes to Justin. So, yeah, no, people do polar bear swims and stuff like that all the time. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the scientific safe limits are. So I'm not claiming to, but many of people have cattle tubs, and if they live in cold places, they let it freeze over at night and they go out in the morning and bust through the ice and jump in. So there you go. Right?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Well, I'm getting cattle, and I'm sure I'll have cattle tubs, so maybe we'll find out this coming
Yeah.
winter.
This winter, it's your time, Justin. The cold plunge in the cattle tub. Yeah, just tie a rope onto the cow, so if you get too cold, it'll just yell at it and it'll pull you out.
Okay.
That'll be your safety mechanism right there. So, but definitely film it so we can all see. We'll do a live stream while you're getting in a frozen cattle tub.
I just hope I don't get a leg cramp or something, get stuck.
Yeah, you do get some of that. Like I noticed that like in my toes and stuff when I'm in there for a long time. And then of course you bump your toe or something and it hurts like 10 times worse when your toes are really cold. So. But it doesn't really do any harm, it just hurts a little. So yeah, so I'm actually wearing this. I bought this a while back. I think this is actually called a Cool Fat Burner, if I'm not mistaken, but it was like the most heavy duty sort of cold vest that I could find at the time. And it's basically got a whole bunch of it's like a vest piece on top, and then like I don't know what it's called, like a girdle that goes around the middle full of ice packs. So yeah, they have, I put them in plastic bags because actually the ice packs I got with this weren't very good quality. They all kind of leaked all the time, that blue gel or whatever is seeping out everywhere. So I bagged them all. And the garments, it's all right. It's real kind of lightweight, material, whatever, but it was the best I could. It's the best I found. So anyways, I don't, one of the downsides to doing cold therapy when you lift weights is it tends to reduce inflammation, and the inflammation is part of the process of building muscle. So you don't necessarily want to do this with any regularity if you're trying to increase muscle mass, right? Because it's gonna slow that down. On the other hand, if you've had a really hard workout and you need to compete or do another hard workout, it could be a great way to recover and get you ready for the next workout or competition or whatever. And naturally, if you got some sort of injury or, perhaps you're just trying to get rid of some body fat or something like that, this could help. So they the people that make this did a bunch of lab experiments with it. Now that I'm just remembering all this, so they did some videos, and I think they did the work at one of the California universities, if I'm not mistaken, at San Diego or LA or something like that. So anyways, there is some science behind it, and you can look it up and watch their videos, or I'm sure they're on YouTube. In fact, maybe I'll pull one up. So
Hey, Tom, while we're
yeah.
kind of on the subject, what are your thoughts on those? I don't know, I call them sweat bags or whatever, but the big plastic suits that, sometimes people wear while they're running and stuff like that. I mean, to me, it just looks like a great way to lose electrolyte and mineral balance and dehydrate. But what do you think about those? You know what I'm talking about? The thermal suits, I guess.
Yeah, so there's, obviously there's more than one thing going on there. You're you're trapping in your heat, right? Your body's on heat with those suits, and your body's trying to cool itself. So you're going to lose a lot of water that way. And I know a lot of people who've used them, they've used them to rapidly lose weight, if they've got to weigh in for something. But at the same time, it probably works to sort of raise those cold shock protein levels as well. I mean, sorry, heat shock protein levels as well. So you probably get a similar effect as sitting in a sauna, right? But if you don't have access to a sauna, one of those suits is probably more affordable and more portable.
Well, I think
for
they're
sure.
actually called a sauna suit, or some of them are
Right.
called sauna suits, right? And I suppose it's also similar. So one time I've done it, or maybe a couple of times, hot yoga, and that is really intense, when they have the room up to only God knows how hot or whatever, like 110 or whatever the heck it is. That's an intense experiment. You feel like you might die, but when you're done, it's pretty refreshing. It's interesting.
Yeah, I think I found.
You buy the cool fat.
So it looks like Cool Fat Burner's been updated
Mm.
since I got it, which I'll be honest with you, I don't remember. Oh, this video is from 2014. So maybe I haven't had mine that long. I've had mine 3 or 4 years. So I'm not sure now. But yeah, I see coolfatburner.com. That's the website. There are videos on YouTube. So, and I think that you can, the kind of the selling point was that you could burn an extra couple thousand calories a day by wearing this. So there you go. If your goal is getting leaner, this might be a good tool for you, because I don't want to quote new prices, but I want to say I spent like $150 or something like that.
Now, is that because you had to buy the extra large, Tom?
Well, they had more than one. You can buy just this top part that goes on, which probably, if I remember correctly, that is the most effective, because your body reacts to the temperature change around on the chest and the upper back the most. So, but then it's not coming up. I'm trying to pull up the website. I don't see it coming up, but I also got the one that went around the waist, because the fact that I don't get cold easy, I thought, and well, I'm a big guy too, so yeah, I don't see it. Their website doesn't seem to work anymore. Maybe I probably have a typo because I'm doing 2 things at once anyways. But so it has like 16 of those combined. Here it is. I found it. So it has about 16 of those big ice packs in it. So I'll show it. Might as well show it here.
Yeah.
So here we go. I think you can see it now. You can see here, they've got the crossover thing over the shoulders. And then down here, you can kind of see this goes around the torso. And it has pockets all the way around with
And is that what you're wearing? You got
yeah, I have
set up?
I have both these on. Yeah.
Got it.
So yeah, let's see if I see their they've got all kinds of videos and data and stuff they did. Here it talks about the fat burning and stuff like that. So you guys can explore that for yourself. I don't see the prices listed right here, but if you add stuff to the cart, I think I'm sure it'll tell you. I'm sure it'll tell you how much it costs. I don't know if I want to. Oh, I guess if I click on buy now, then it will.
Yeah,
It'll
probably.
tell me. Here's a little buy now thing. There we go. Prices. Yeah, and they had different options for different. They have more than one type of cold pack that you can get. So you can see here this package here with a bunch of cold packs and the two garments is about $158. So there you go.
Neat.
Ta-da.
Yeah, it'd be an
Yeah.
interesting investment for people that maybe you don't have to do rolling 48s. Maybe you just got to wear that 2 times a week or nightly or something. I don't know. I think I'm going to pick one up for this upcoming summer. Like I think that's happening for me.
Do need some room in the freezer. So
Right.
it kind of takes a while to put all those packs in. You're trying to put a rectangular frozen ice pack into a limp garment with all these pockets, right? So in your fingers are quickly going numb, right? My solution was to this is even a different ice pack in here. The what I did was I leave the ice packs in the garment, and I have a big, heavy duty plastic bag, and I put the whole thing in the freezer. However, that does take up quite a bit of room. But at the same time, it kind of protects the ice packs so they don't get dinged up, in the freezer. So you do need a lot of freezer space for it comparatively. But when, like I said, I used to go to the cryogenic place and get one of those tubes, that's super chilled to minus 240 degrees Fahrenheit. And the thing is, you spend, I don't know, I don't remember exactly what that costs, but I'm gonna say it's like $15 or something like that, right? So not super expensive. But you can only be in that thing for 4 minutes or 5 minutes or something. That's like that's all they're allowed to let you be in there, right? Whereas this thing you can wear it for hours because it actually stays quite cold for quite a while. And there was periods of time when I was using it, I'd put it on and drive to work with 45 minutes of traffic or whatever, and I get to work and I'd still be wearing it. It still would have frost on it. So I'm going to say it stays pretty cold for a couple hours. And you do probably want to wear at least a t-shirt or something underneath because, something that cold close to your skin, you could damage your skin. You get like cold burns or whatever. So you do want a little bit of layer protection on there. And I've heard some people actually cover up when they're on to keep the warm air off the ice pack so they stay colder longer. So there's depends on probably how warm it is where you are, whether that works or not. So, but yeah, it's I guess I could do a long-term experiment with it. See, I guess start jumping on the scale and see if it see an alteration in body fat or something like that. I can because I think, let's say I did an experiment where I'm just working on my arms for a while, and my arms aren't going to be affected by the vest, right? So I'll just work on getting gigantic arms and legs because they're not in here either. And to hell with my torso in my back, and just do thermogenics every day for a month. So
pretty cool.
if I disappear, I don't respond to your text, you know why?
You fell down an ice hole.
I fell down the ice hole, and you know what? It's getting hot here. Finally having to run the AC. So this arrangement's looking pretty good right about now.
Right, definitely.
Everybody else in the house will be sweating bullets, and I'll just walk around in my cold vest. I'm not turning the AC on for you guys. You can sweat it out. Here's a dish towel. So, anyways, well, that was a hell of a short ribs.
Yeah, you go.
Everybody out there, let us leave us a comment. Let us know what your experience with thermogenesis is. Maybe you like the sauna. I've done the sauna.
Ooh, hot tub. Special shout out to the hot tub. If you got one,
invite us
they're
over.
still, yeah, they're still the absolute best. Thermogenesis.
I have a dream of one day having a hot tub and a cold tub. That would be
Yeah.
the bitch, isn't it? Right there. So one of these days when we actually make a profit on YouTube, maybe.
There you go.
So till next time,
Eat some meat.
feel better.
And whatever you do fall down the ice hole.
Definitely fall down the ice hole. Hit that sauna.